lot of people, they dream of being incredibly wealthy. The desire to be rich and famous is a very common aspiration, and while some celebrities have certainly achieved that goal, the rest of us just have to stand by and work hard to achieve that same goal. Today I've compiled a list of some of the richest celebrities for us to study so we can one day be like them, so let's get into the top 10 richest celebrities of 2021. At number 10, Dolly Parton. We're covering some of the richest celebrities, so of course we have to start with one of the richest yet most wholesome and unapologetic people out there, Dolly freaking Parton. Dolly is a singer, songwriter, actress, businesswoman, philanthropist, and just all around amazing human being. She started from nothing and now she has her own freaking theme park. Dolly has a net worth of about $650 million, which isn't as much as other celebrities included on this list, but it's still quite substantial. With her riches, she's been able to do a lot for herself and others, but how did she manage to acquire this fortune? Well, other than her businesses, a lot of her money has no doubt come from her illustrious music career. Dolly has sold over 100 million albums, which already made her a lot of money, but because her music is so popular, she has also had people cover her songs, which have boosted her income. One of the most famous cases of this was Whitney Houston's cover of I Will Always Love You from the movie The Bodyguard in 1992. Just on that film alone, Dolly made $20 million in royalties. Dolly's song catalog is also worth at least $300 million, so that certainly adds to her riches as well. At number 9, Kylie Jenner. Now this list is ranked with the richest celebrity at number 1, so you might be surprised that Kylie Jenner is only sitting at number 9. Well, that's because she's not as rich as you might think. Though Miss Kylie is very wealthy, she isn't the billionaire that we were led to believe she was. Back in March 2019, Forbes magazine dubbed Kylie Jenner the world's youngest self-made billionaire. This caused quite a stir because people started debating whether or not she could actually call herself self-made, or if she was even actually a billionaire. While the self-made argument is still up for debate, the billionaire thing has been disproven. Turns out that Kylie's net worth is only about $700 million rather than the $1.2 billion that was previously published. Now don't get me wrong, that's still a lot of money, but not as much as was previously published. As we all no doubt know, the majority of her earnings have come from her Kylie Cosmetics and Kylie Skin brands, which are super successful, but she's also part of the Jenner family and they're all rolling in the dough anyway. Before we carry on talking about more of the rich and famous people of Hollywood, why not take a quick moment to leave a like on this video if you're enjoying it so far, and while you're at it, maybe consider subscribing to the channel to see more videos like this one. At number 8, Celine Dion. Now let's talk about this amazingly successful Canadian, Celine Dion. She makes Canada proud because of how successful she has become over the course of her career. With a net worth of about $800 million, you can certainly say that she's done well for herself. Celine has sold over 220 million albums worldwide, which has no doubt greatly contributed to her wealth and success, but another aspect of her career that has boosted her fortune has been her tours. Her most recent Courage tour sold out each of the 52 North American shows, and judging by the fact that Celine normally earns around $50 million in concert revenue, you can see why she's so successful. What definitely contributed to her boost in fame was her contribution to the 1997 film Titanic, where her song My Heart Will Go On became famous, but it also won her an Oscar. Between 2000 and 2010, Celine was the highest grossing entertainer in the world, and her shows around the world added to her great success. At number 7, Madonna. Moving on from one powerhouse female performer to another, next up let's talk about Madonna. Though she has had a questionable career as far as her scandals are concerned, that hasn't stopped her from becoming one of the richest celebrities out there. With a net worth of about $850 million, she's certainly as rich as they come. Madonna has been known to flex her riches by buying very expensive things, but there's no shame in that because she earned every cent of her wealth through hard work and a long career. Some of the most expensive things that she's been known to have purchased include pieces by artists including Picasso, Damien Hirst, Diego Rivera, and Marilyn Minter. Madonna also owns around $100 million worth of real estate around the globe. On top of her earnings through her music and her investments in real estate, Madonna also has earned a substantial amount of money through her various clothing, skincare, fragrance, and accessory lines. At number 6, J.K. Rowling. Now, although J.K. Rowling has become very controversial in the last little while, we do have to talk about her career and success because no matter what scandals she's been in, she's still very wealthy. How long is that going to last at this rate with people no longer supporting her is another topic for another day. Anyways, let's talk about how rich this author is. With the success of the Wizarding World franchise, J.K. Rowling has become one of the world's most successful celebrities with a net worth of around $1 billion. This all came from the success of the Harry Potter books, which has sold over 500 million copies worldwide, being published in different languages and loved by a large audience. With the success of the books, the series got incredibly successful film adaptations, as you no doubt know, and this also generated billions of dollars at the box office. Now, JK is known to be quite private about her finances and has denied being a billionaire in the past, but the public has the facts and she's a lot richer than she claims to be. At number 5, Sir Paul McCartney. Now, you don't get to become a Sir for no reason, and Sir Paul McCartney has certainly proved that he is deserving of such a title. He's one of the most successful musicians in history and has a net worth of about $1.2 billion. Though he first got his success through the Beatles, who sold over 600 million albums worldwide, he was also able to boost his own success as a solo artist, having released countless successful hits and having sold out tours worldwide. In a year, Paul earns $50 to $70 million, with a lot of those earnings coming from royalties generated by his own songs and copyrights to thousands of others. Though a pretty big financial mistake was made when the publishing rights to the Beatles songs were sold, McCartney was certainly able to bounce back with his earnings from his solo career. With that in mind though, imagine how much richer he would be if he was still able to earn royalties from the Beatles songs as well. At number 4, Jay-Z. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty of the rap world and one of the artists who's dominated much of that side of the music industry. We're talking about rapper Jay-Z. Now, he doesn't often flex his money as he's really not all that boastful, at least not compared to other artists like Kanye West, whom we will talk about later. It may surprise you that Jay-Z actually has a net worth of about $1.3 billion. Obviously, the majority of his riches comes from his music career, but there are other factors that play into his large net worth. Jay-Z seems to be quite a savvy businessman and investor. He sold portions of his companies to big conglomerates for hundreds of millions of dollars. He also owns equity stakes in some of the world's biggest companies like SpaceX, Outly, Uber, Sweetgreen, and Ethos. And on top of that, when you combine the rapper's net worth with that of his wife, their total net worth approaches nearly $2 billion. Jay-Z and Beyonce also own hundreds of millions of dollars worth of art and real estate, showing off just how well off they really are. At number 3, Kim Kardashian. Up next, we've got to talk about the one and only Kim Kardashian. Kim, much like her sister Kylie, has her multiple businesses to thank for her riches. It has been reported that Kim has a net worth of about $1.4 billion. Kim has had many businesses over the years and has other ways of gaining lump sums of income, but by far her most valuable assets are her makeup brand KKW Beauty and her shapewear and loungewear brand Skims. KKW alone brings about $100 million of revenue per year and is valued at about $700 million. She recently sold a 20% stake in the KKW Beauty company to Coty, the same company that bought Kylie Cosmetics, but even though she doesn't own 100% of the company, only holding about 72% of the company, Kim still gets a pre-tax stake of $500 million. Skims, on the other hand, is worth a lot more than KKW Beauty and has an approximate valuation of about $1.6 billion, and though Kim only owns about 50 to 60% of the company, she still has a pre-tax stake of about $800 to $960 million. So to those who doubt how successful Kim really is, the success of her businesses really says it all. At number 2, Kanye West. Now, we can't talk about Kim K without talking about her now ex-husband, kind of, Kanye West. Now, Kanye's net worth is debated by some depending on what sources you look at. According to Forbes, the rapper's net worth is sitting around $1.6 billion, but another source clocks it in at $6.6 billion. Now, I know that is a huge difference in numbers, but honestly, you don't have to think about it too hard because either way, he's freaking rich, so that's really all that matters here. Kanye's large net worth is thanks to a number of his assets, from his music catalog that's worth $110 million, to his real estate holdings worth $100 million, to his Yeezy brand that's worth $3 to $5 billion and generates over $1 billion in revenue. From all sources of income, Kanye brings in about $100 to $200 million annually, so again, he's super rich. What helps out the most when it comes to his earnings from his Yeezy brand is the fact that he owns 100% of the company, so everything that is earned goes completely to Kanye. So yeah, he is super rich, but I'm pretty sure we already knew that, just maybe not how rich. And finally, at number 1, George Lucas Lucas. According to sources, director, screenwriter, and producer George Lucas is the richest celebrity in the world with a net worth of around $10 billion. We all know him as the brains behind the Star Wars franchise, so it comes as no surprise to see just how much money this franchise has made him. Much like Kanye West, George owned 100% of the rights to Star Wars, so everything that the franchise made went back to him. However, in 2012, he sold Star Wars to Disney for $4 billion in cash and stock. This was a pretty good business decision since he not only made billions off that sale, but he's never sold a single Disney share, and with the company booming, he just keeps raking in the money. A very smart choice on his part. Now before we wrap things up for today, I want you guys to leave a comment down below telling me if you would ever want to be as rich as some of these celebrities. You don't necessarily need to have the fame aspect too, but would you ever want to be a millionaire or even a billionaire? Leave me your thoughts down below. Anyways, that's it for me. I've been your host, Brew, and until next time, stay safe, make good choices, and stay groovy, friends.